everyone, and welcome to another episode of The Lifting. This show is being recorded on 12/31/24, New Year's Eve 24. With that said, I'm here with Richie McGreevy again, and we will be talking about the Recarson culture, of which is being shown in the Sonic movies and game series. We won't go to completely in depth in this particular one. This is more of a brief rundown of that subject material. It'll be mostly a Q&A with the Recarsons. But I will say, though, before I get into this, I'm going to do the law of one and officially open this circle now to true benevolence with no conflicting agendas as of this moment in time. So, the law of one. When one is harmed, all are harmed. When one is helped, all are helped. So therefore, in the name of who I am, and I am one with all there is, I give thanks that this is done. So be it, and so it is. And there we go. So I will say this. If any of you have not seen the Sonic movies or even the Knuckles TV series, I believe it's on Paramount. It's all on Paramount Plus, and I would highly recommend this if you want at least some rundown on how some of the Black Projects work. They put it in a comedic, cheesy type of way, but that actually displayed this correctly. And you have Sonic in the beginning. So I won't give away the entire plots of the movies. I'm not going to do this, but you have Sonic, who's an alien that has to come to Earth because there's another culture that's hunting him. He has the power of speed. It's like Knuckles has the power of might, and Tails has the power of flight. So these are actual cultures that you are seeing within this. The Recarson culture, they look like hedgehogs. And of course, you have Knuckles that calls himself Echidna, but the Recarson is the name of the species. Before in the old GIC, they said they were from the Horsehead Nebula. I came to find out that there are openings in the galaxy out that way that they're a part of, but also they have a dimensional space within worlds, the introverse, where they pass between the dimensional spaces along with another race that's on their world that happens to look like Mickey Mouse and a hedgehog put together, a porcupine put together. That particular species, I believe, is represented in Kingdom Hearts, if I'm not mistaken. But we'll get to that on a completely different show at some point. But this
properly represented anyway.
Huh?
Properly represented anyway, but go on.
Yeah, very properly represented, but yes, but as their own show. But this particular one, though, I will say, I know the drone topic has been incredibly hot right now. If you see the first Sonic movie, you see Dr. Ivar Robotnik using these pretty advanced drones. And even the military says his drone technology is above reproach. It's very, very advanced. You see these tic-tac shaped drones that are very mechanical. I've seen these within the ether quite often, whereas these pop in and out, and you're also seeing all the drones, which we've discussed on other shows. The Sasquatch have brought this up. Several other cultures have brought this up, whereas it's just been a distraction against a lot of the alien and UFO sightings that have been going on. AI, false flag, a lot of that going on. But the Tic Tac ones that are being represented as Robotnik's technology are pretty close as to some of the human hybrid, alien hybrid types that I've seen passing through the neighborhoods. The older ones used to be these weird, like oblong, squarish, like rhomboid, oblong-shaped drones that used to hover around transformers and power boxes in order to gain energy. They would literally vampire the energy out of neighborhoods and cause blackouts. The Tic Tacs have self-sustaining zero-point energy power sources and anti-gravitic tech. So that's the stage up from before, but think Robotnik's technology when you think of that, or think of Robotnik's technology, think of that. The rings that are in Sonic, where you see him fling the ring and open a portal, you see this theme across multiple sci-fi mediums, and includes obviously Stargate SD1, Stargate Atlantis, and Stargate Universe. This I found very interesting, because of the fact that this is the same theme. It represents ring portal. What got me was, and this fits with Jim Carrey in Hollywood as well, where you see him multiple times doing the Cabal hand symbol. A lot of times you see him this, or as he's sitting like this, and some of his henchmen are sitting doing that. And What this means, the one above the head, means they're tagging a group like you see in the movie Black Adam, where they're looking for warriors, insurrectors, things that so people that would oppose them in some fashion, or tagging an area where there's more people per capita that would some Taigetan information helped as their data miner per capita, that they would resist them in some way. This handles an individual. I saw a photograph one time, whereas somebody had cut the head off of somebody in the photograph, and just snipped their head out, and they said, "Oh, this is how people were canceled back in the day," that kind of thing. You see these two people in this black, or three people in this black and white photograph. Two people on the right, and the one on the left is doing this, which told me the reason they wanted to cut his head off in the picture is because he was being a narcissistic asshole and controlling the other two and handling them. That's how you notice this. And another thing that showed this was disclosure was when Robotnik is chasing Sonic past the pyramids in the movie. You see the ring portal form above the pyramid. That's the Illuminati Eye of Providence. So that's a clue as to this was being disclosed from a real source, and this being the Recarson people. So I know I sped through that a little bit. I do not want to give away too much. We will do something very, very in depth, like different examples, different ideas. Even the narcissistic attitude that Robotnik has. There's a lot of Kabbalists that act that way. He's kind of a savant, narcissistic type. And then also the government, the way you see them in it, they nicknamed the one general, or one colonel, I should say. They called him Mr. Olive Garden because he was just giving them gift cards in the movie, basically saying, "Oh, here, this is for you," and it's just some cheap ass gift card. That's how they think, folks. They don't see us as the same as them. They see what their task or their objective as being the thing, and that's the correct attitude to represent them. Yes, the series Knuckles, all that has a cheese factor to it, I will grant you. They even showed in Knuckles where they showed him, they've now accomplished getting the emerald, the top weapon in the movie, which I will say is surprisingly the same as the Infinity Gauntlet in Infinity War Endgame, Avengers Infinity War Endgame. They went along those lines. Not saying they copied anybody, but again, it's a common theme for there's stones that if they come together can change reality. That's true. So they Knuckles, they show him as a warrior in that, and in the series, he has nothing to do here on Earth after the goal's been accomplished. So he's kind of restless. I noticed people that have warrior backgrounds and lineages are like this all the time. I myself have a hard time just doing normal crap. So I kind of related to that. Sonic reminds me of Joanna's grandson a lot too, the way his attitude surrounding things. So he reminds me of him a lot, and the way he would set his room up and everything. It's like his version of him from if he were like 8 or 9 years old. So I just thought that was interesting. So I know the Recarsons were itching to come through today. Richie, did you have anything you wanted to add to this? I know you saw the first movie.
I was going to give a little bit of backstory of the video games.
Okay.
You were saying you were saying like Mickey Mouse and all that. Well, actually, Sonic's original name is going to be called Mr. Needle Mouse, in his early concepts, and yeah, for some reason, but they changed it to Sonic because it sounded cooler. And the '90s was all about marketing, so yeah, that's why they changed it. And the rings, yeah, they've been around since the first game. You've got to collect 50 of them in order to activate the giant ring to collect the Chaos Emerald, go through it.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, and you just transported into this sort of strange, surreal world, and the gameplay is completely different from what you used to.
Okay, yeah, that's exactly. The games we'll do like we do with Zelda. We can go through them little bit by little bit and see what the actual disclosure they put in them. Oh, Nulk of the Recarsons basically just said, yeah, the ones that weren't crap. I just heard him say, okay. I just heard him say, okay. Meaning there were some that were under more Recarson influence and some that deviated more towards yield. So it was that's kind of what he's telling me here. So this he actually laughed when he said, "Yeah, some that weren't crap." Okay, so he was chuckling a little bit when he said that. You may recognize this group from earlier GIC after shows. They have stated that they want to do a couple, maybe series of shows here in the future and Q&As regarding like sonic material and things of that nature. And other groups have also expressed this. Some will be on lifting. You will see some on GIC in the not too distant future. And of course, the Sasquatch on the World of Sasquatch have their own channel. So they wanted their own world. So, and this is the logo if you look for it on Rumble. So this made it so that the forest people, if you put those stickers up, and I'll be happy to put these up for sale. They want to be able to be in a safe area in a neighborhood in their frequency. So if you put those up, this basically says, hey, they're welcome in that area. So the only Sasquatch promotion I'll do during the Recarsons episode here. So I will let's see if okay, Nulk. Oh wow, there's a lot of you here. All right, it's like a group of hedgehogs. Think Sonic, how he looks. But if you go back to the traditional colors of a hedgehog, like the brownish, dark brown, light brown look, there's a little bit of blue running through him, like just a little bit. And also the kinetic energy they're saying of Sonic, showing that even one of his quills could power something. That's actually true if you build up enough of energy in that way. That there's actually, okay, you want to explain that. Okay. They're saying that that's actually a true thing. That can actually center towards either speed, might, or flight. That's actually true of those three. Very much like Dragon Ball Z, the energy lifts them up, levitates, and they can fly and fling energy balls, all that. If people want to see a Dragon Ball Z series, you let us know, because I think that would be a wonderful route to go to. So, all right, Nope. Ooh, man, you have such a fast energy. That's why I'm talking so quick, because it's built up. So the people think I'm talking too fast. It's this ether. So uh, people have complained that I sound like the Micro Machine Man sometimes. So yeah, all right.
Too much, too much caffeine.
Yeah, or like blah, 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 blah. Yeah, it's the energy that does it when I connect to it. So if that's why. So, and it's the Recarsons that want to speak for the most part in this episode. So, uh, okay, Nope, you're more than welcome. Okay, Nope. There we go, through the crystal. Yes, yes. Benevolent Nope, Nope. There we go. Yes, he is literally picking up on our speed. And when we're around, we can supercharge the energy in the area to literally make people speak quicker and to make people feel more empowered. The aspects of our physiology are dimensionally based. Yes, we can go in and out from Galactic Federation territory to Earth. The majority of our home base, though, is within dimensions, such as the introverse, or the worlds within worlds, the nesting doll, as you call it. Our energy literally speeds up the environment, very much like you would see Sonic rolling into a ball and collecting the rings. And then this power is built up, and that can clash with any, you would say, negatively charged energies. In this case, it's kind of like a lightning burst or electricity. He himself, along with the Force people yesterday, were talking about some of the aquatic Draco instances where they have a vulnerability to electromagnetism. He himself made some pieces recently that revealed their presence around this area. And they did not like this and retaliated. This because they're vulnerable to certain types of electromagnetism. When we appear, our nature makes it so if we pass through regular nature, like say the trees, the grass, the animals, we literally, as the footsteps we walk, we can clear an environment dimensionally and physically. This also could lead in some areas, very much like you see in your Fallout series, where the radiation made creatures mutate, or if it's because that's multiversal, infinite diversity and infinite combinations. We have noticed that as we walk on grass, it begins to glow a little greener. Not like a nuclear absorption, or I should say not unlike it, but with no damaging effects. So if we've been in an area, things begin to have almost a bioluminescent glow. Where we are from, this is how it looks, you see. Uh, our homeworld, if you could see the green rolling hills and the way also Sonic is set up, we don't have loops and roller coaster type things and stuff like that unless we build it. But our villages are actually on hilltops to where we can literally run through these rolling hills, naturally forming, not like the digital kind. But in this instance, the way we evolved this was because of the supercharge of dimensions, very much like your Time Lords do on your Doctor Who, where they evolve near the time vortex, that they have the ability to face shift into a different face or form or even gender. This is similar, where we evolved near this particularly supercharged, faster moving ether. And in this, yes, we are of a faster moving frequency, so of course we would seem like ghosts to you, very much like Elena Vesta do on Lanulos, and Indrid Cold as well. And also Isaac in his other frequency, that they can wear a suit or something to ground here. When we pass into a place, that faster moving ether not only will get people to speak faster, they will get people to actually, not to be rude, but get off their ass and move a little bit, you see. This is something that we did not reveal on the previous episode because of the previous company that we had on there. This is also why my lady friend here began to stammer on there as well. There was a lot of interference then that in the ether and the company that was currently kept then, we could not also sometimes properly, we cannot always properly cleanse the ether if there is a more, how can I put it, mass torsion field that resists that particular change. But the timelines have changed since then, you see. They have changed to the point that we are much more able to come through. So this is why I asked him to delete the previous material on us, and we start fresh with things like this. I know this seems like a more sped up, no pun intended, version of events, but this is how it had to be with our energy, or not. He was not used to our energy in this particular form. Now, could one of our quills be plucked out and provide people with power? Yeah, you could say that, because it's dimensionally based. If you were to pick one of them, could you get power out of that, and also an infinite amount of power like you see Sonic or Knuckles' quills, powering weapons or powering a city or equipment or blowing out transistors? Yes, that can happen if you build up that energy. You see it glow in their eyes and everything, that bioluminescence. That's actually a true thing. If we were to step fully into your frequency, your equipment would be supercharged the same way. But so would your bodies, because there's also electromagnetism there as well. Also, it would start to reveal ghost presences, since that's also electromagnetism, electromagnetic in origin. So it would mess with equipment. So this is another reason we do not show very often in that respect. But we are also assisting in the clearing of both your environments. So I can go into questions.
Yeah, did you guys have like an influence on other mediums, like clothing? I suppose I take it music as well, because that's what Sonic series is known for.
Yes, yes, we also assist in music, because if you translate those frequencies to sound tones, there's sound and light tones, we integrated that music very much like you see in the movie. You see the main character's phone go off, and it's the music from the movie that was supposed to be like its a cameo honoring the games from Sega. Those particular tones, even the rings, as you're collecting, you're hearing the ding 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 ding. This actually is true. Are there rings that we can throw to open things? Yes, that technology exists, but it's Galactic Federation wide. Just like it shows in the galaxy, a lot of people have those. We can open them on our own, as can the other species of which you were referring, that are also from our dimensional space. They're a cousin species to us that literally have keys or rings that will open doorways, like you said, we're in Kingdom Hearts. They want their own own representation, of course, like any of your races would. They want to be represented in some fashion or form, like your forest people want to be represented in fashion or form. In this, yes, the music in this, we do influence also music very much like the bad guys do music programming. We have the ability to undo that programming just by adding our pitches and tones. Now, the yield that you have in place, whereas information is true information is yielded by some garbage or crap. This is what happened to our game influence as well, where they tried to add in either a convoluted storyline or they tried to add in some of their own influences within the storylines themselves, or skew from the message that we were trying to give or a description of ourselves. So we skewed a little bit over to Kingdom Hearts, then we skewed over to movies, and therefore you have the Sonic movies. Not that we can take 100% credit. You have, again, a yield in there where you have the actors doing the Kabbalist hand signs and the like in it. That was the yield, but it was enough. It was just a small enough amount to where we could get the main story premise in there. Where you saw Sonic traveling also is true, but also the owls and the echidna, they showed that war within the movies. Where when Knuckles came into the second one, this happens to be a true statement, but the owl symbol is usually a Kabbalist symbol, very much like on your money, where you have a tiny owl in the upper corner of the dollar bill. You see, this it's essentially a symbol of usually one of the Anunnaki lords, which is usually Moloch. But this also is represented. Here's the yield point. This is also representative of a real species that is out there that has been mistaken for Mothman. Mothman's real too, but there's also an owl, dimensional owl species. There is another species that is dark, that is bird-like. You've heard them as like the whole Ra group. You've heard species talk about that, linked with AI, government conspiracies, the whole bit, and Homo Ra material. You've heard of that. But then there is another owl species that wasn't all that bad. And then there's one that there are a bunch of witches that cast spells in a dimension they call the passage. There's good and bad in there where they do magical things on people. I don't always approve of their tactics, but they can. There is a couple of their members that I actually find all right. One's name is Foon, and a couple of the others. Now, barring them, the echidna, where you see Knuckles group, where they were hunting the owls. This depicts an actual war between the Orions and the Recarson people and some of their tribes. Whereas we had to repel the invaders that used winged invaders like angelic-looking conquistadors and captured bird and owl-looking people. This is where this came in, and the music that we help create combats the tones and frequencies by which those dimensional variants, let's just say, even though they consider variant a slur, I don't care. That's like saying the N-word to a black person. So the variant or variable, we'll just say their variance within that particular harmonic is disrupted by the music that we put into the games and into the movies. So I hope this helps.
Makes perfect sense. The whole avian war as well, because Robotnik in the video games uses a lot of like avian influences on his technology. Like he has egg horns, he's even his little carrier shape of an egg. His egg carriers. Yeah, it seems to all have some sort of correlation with that. So yeah, that makes sense. And I think what were they called? The first, because I think they're called because every time you free a creature from one of Robotnik's machines, you see a bird fly out or another animal. So it's always depicted as seeming like a bird fly out. So I take it, yeah, that is the Orions being the ultimate simulators themselves. Yeah.
Yes, and also the fact that the Anunnaki forms as well also carried bird forms because they genetically engineered some of the bird servants. Now, there's dark Anunnaki, which would be your Orions. Then there's also okay ones like Odin and the Odin sons. They're just fine. And also, the bird race is are depicted as being dead in your Star Trek Enterprise program, because when they were talking about the different races of Asgard. Some call it Moldek, but that's a slur. That just was a reptilian word meaning mine, yours, or mine, ours type of thing, and not yours. It mistranslated. It's a Draco word. they basically conquered with that word. If you say Marduk, that means mine. So you don't want to associate that with Asgard or the asteroid belt. It's a sensitive subject for most. Same with Atlantis, they use that word as well. They like to say Marduk, but that's an actual person that would be also associated with Ra. So with this, they show the bird people as dead, meaning both dead inside and dead dead. So the Ra is dead dead. The actual bird people are those blue avian types you hear about. Now, there are descendant lineages such as your Toroth and such as your other bird individual species that are not part of a harmonic collective like the Borg. And the original tone, Marduk set that up to basically give the finger to his uncle, which would be Enlil. That tone then repelled any of the vampiric garbage and made his environment more sovereign. But I can't say anything he's currently involved in is above reproach, let's just put it that way. He's out in space back and forth quite often. But in this, I won't go into the Odin sons unless Odin wishes to comment at some point. But do you have any further questions?
Yeah, you talked about the avians being the death topic. One of the main weapons Eggman uses in the game. It's called the Death Egg. It's giant. It's basically this giant like spherical space station that produces like these acorns. That he calls them, but they're like essentially miniature versions of him being the super narcissist he is. Uh, yeah. So yeah, just want to bring that up.
Yes, the egg symbol is actually a symbol of death and rebirth, or rebirth. You see, this is why it's used in Christian religions. You have the whole rabbit Easter thing that is fear, and you have rebirth, meaning this was a Kabbalist symbol, meaning that they were trying to get rid of what came before. Very much, you've heard the term recently in your politics, unburdened by what has been. This is essentially what this is, or the new egg, like you hear in Skyrim, where you hear Parthenics saying, "Would you deny the new egg from existing?" Meaning, or in your Eternals, where the elementals wanted to sacrifice Earth to fuel one elemental, or would you deny the new birth from taking place? This is a psyops to make sure that you are okay with some kind of mass extinction. You see, goes again with the Robotnik mentality of domination, control, and thinking everything is beneath them. This is where this origin lies as ancient Rome.
What about the other hedgehogs? Like, for example, you got Shadow, you got Silver. Would like, especially Shadow's character, would he be more of like a corrupted version of you
Mm-hmm.
in a sense?
Yes, like basically the shadow self of us. There were several of us that actually, unfortunately, got corrupted, and it's like your Black Adam character, where he was enveloped by the hatred of his heart, kind of deal. Ironically said because they used the Cabal symbols in that movie, but to tag people. But in this, yes, it is because of a path that was more abusive, like the character of Shadow in the newer movie. He has not seen the third one as of yet. Also, they use three. That's the power of three being shown in this. The other types like Silver, Shadow, Knuckles, and Tails. These are representative of different harmonic tones and color tone frequencies, because every color has a flavor. Every flavor has a frequency. Every frequency has a tone, and light and sound tones. So if you were to put red up, it actually makes a sound, and it actually has variations of light in there. Every color has healing, or in some cases detrimental type of effects. If they were to put up or use an inverted frequency value of that color, red is a great example of this. What is red usually associated with? Sometimes the satanic religions, or black. But what is red and black? They're also protective colors. Witches and warlocks use black as a protective measure. They consider it an ultimate protection. The Japanese consider every hero wearing red to be the ultimate. So think of also when he said he put red over the TV screen to block negative entities. The negative inverted red is the negative value of that color, you see. What was also said in your Andromedan TV series, whereas the negative abyss had a negative frequency and color and frequency value, you see. Apologies, go ahead.
Some say red's also like a seductive color.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yes.
associates with anger as well.
Yes. Yes, it can be a seductive color as well as angry, but at the and charge the energy up. Anytime he wore a red shirt, let's say, it charged the energy up. The red can be a good color to repel entities, such as demonic entities, certain Draco reptilians, and ghouls. But at the same time, can flip somebody to an aggressive attitude and they want to charge into battle and speak very quickly as well. So this is where I'm at with that. This is the color that is most contended over. So I started with that. Blue for the forest people is communication, like with the eyes, or red would mean hunting and or repelling, and then and those were basically the colors they pretty much use. And they have amber yellow for caution, like your streetlights. So that's just like if you were to have a red car, you would be more than likely stopped by police because it inflames those senses within them. Or if you wore a red suit, people would be more inclined to look your direction or even give you a free drink from time to time. You saw a series where this happened to happen, where somebody was constantly given free drinks if they wore a red suit. Yes, it gets the attention that way. Now, with the different colors of the hedgehogs, you have tails being amber.
Tails is technically a fox, though, so would he be?
Yes. hmm There are
He
fox
wouldn't.
species variants of us, yes. hmm he is technically a fox, but there are a fox variation of our people that have been spotted in your country, such as Romania, you call it Transylvania, Hungary, and in those particular cultures within your Middle Ages. So yes, we do have a fox variation within our species genomic structure, yes.
The same with bats as well and cats.
Yeah, we have
And
bats, we
then,
have foxes, and we have rodents. So well, just like your Mickey Mouse. So we do have those different variations, and the colors are reflected of the energy by which that particular person's putting out. Like Knuckles, he has that reddish maroon color. This is essentially associated with not only might and power, but more of a healing and balancing capability. Since he has it in his fist, the tails of the flight. Yellow cautionary, meaning almost like a reconnaissance, with sonic communication, bridge building blue, shadow black, that would be not only protective, but also would be in the shadows, like I've said, a darker path. And also silver would be more of a quickly moving, how can I put it, ether that is actually more psychically connected. So this is or more psionically, how can I put it, to dimensionally bridge building. A lot of the silver colored ones are usually associated with construction of some kind on our world. Not to be bigoted
wow,
in any shape or form. Yes, but the different colors do mean, like with the dragons, they mean different functions as well. It's not a bigoted thing. That's just how the genomic structure is set up. And just like how you have your races that evolved in certain conditions or on other planets, as the case may be, different colonists from different planets, like they showed on South Park, where the different races were seeded from the different worlds, like South Park showing it as a reality show. Yeah, one race evolved on one planet, but on Earth they migrated from all over. That happens to be true. So, didn't mean to interrupt.
I'm just going to say I'm kind of out of questions now.
Hmm.
Kind of got to the main meat of a lot of things. Yeah, till we get into the gameplay, I can't really think of anything else.
Yes, yes. I know you wanted to split this up. We could do a multitude of these types of shows. I just wanted to get out a bit of our history out there that was I don't want to say uncorrupted, but unblocked by other yield sources. So he came up with a phrase, never yielder, or hashtag never yielder. That's where we're at. But when it came to the movies and when it came to the games, there was a little bit in there that had to be spiced in there just a little bit to get our message out. But that little bit is becoming less and less. It's waning. So if there are no further questions, I can detach at this time. We are just thankful to have been on this program.
Good to have you on, Doc.
Thank
Good to
you.
have you on, Doc.
Yes, and we will further these conversations as well. This is exciting to our
Yeah,
people at this prospect. So goodbye.
be that bad.
Ooh. He talks really fast too. It's like the way you hear him speak is actually the way I'm translating it is slower. The way he talk, the way their language sounds, it's like it's really quick, and it's mixed into a quantum like light language variation that it's like the way they talk is like this. It sounds like that. It's really quick. Uh, And it's kind of like an Oriental language. It sounds like a mixture between Untumban, Chinese, Japanese, and a little bit of English words in there. It's
Yeah.
and some energetic variations in there. So I'm thinking they had contact with the Untumbans at some point and integrated some of the language variations. Because what the Untumbans do is they'll take a symbol or an idea and that or symbol, and it means an entire set of quantum variations and ideas, and you have a group of them that are put together. This then turns that sentence into a combination of ideas that means an overall concept. Like when an Untumban makes a holographic representation of a building, they will have a tree branch like computer and have all these symbols out like this. And when they move one symbol, a bit of the building changes and a bit of the construction changes. Then they turn that, they take the resources and turn that into a real building. Since there's not as many resources as there were in the Orion War time frame, like the Lyrans and them have the same problem where they can't repair some of their old ships. Just like here, we have the stone technology where we wouldn't be able to repair it because it's from an age before, like you see in the Ahsoka Star Wars series. They implied there used to be intergalactic travel with technology that would align a Stonehenge or a Henge type compass to go from galaxy to galaxy. That was true. So the same thing with the ring technology. So it's just something that's been lost to us, having been descendants of colonists that forgot their origins. So that's
Mhm.
essentially what they wanted to say. But I don't know if you have anything other to add to this particular one, Richie.
Not at the moment, no, fortunately.
Okay. Okay.
Next one, definitely, yeah.
Yeah, the next one definitely will be more prepared for this. This was more of an impromptu one. When the Recarsons saw us watching the movies and the material, they're like, "Ah, yes, we can compare notes." You know, so Note came in and goes, tell Richie to do the show." I'm like, "Okay, I'll tell Richie to do the show." So that's how they were, and like the Force people, if they open that conduit up, you have to kind of align with that. Not that you're being subservient; it's just a an understanding that is being met in the ether to form this
Mhm.
outlet. So I believe okay, at this point, thank you, Nope, thank you to the Recarson people.
Thank you.
The outlet to where they go into space is in the Horsehead Nebula, by the way, like they said in the original recording. It just they are dimensional and they form a dimensional aperture in the Horsehead Nebula. They wanted me to say that as well. So at the moment, we now close this circle within true benevolence and no conflicting agendas as of this moment in time. We thank you all for watching this program, albeit short. You're going to see a lot of these different programs that are like this on more video game oriented things and more movie oriented disclosures at this point in time. So thank you, everybody, and bye bye now.
Bye bye. Chris, I can feel them around you, but
Hmm?
I can still feel them around you with precautions.
Oh, yeah, I can feel them too. Oh yeah, they're holding the
Uh,
space. They're guarding the space. So hmm. Yeah, though they're here. What is it that
I
you
think
want to?
so,
Hmm?
I think there's some around my area as well.
Oh yeah, they're all over. I can see them. I can see some guards with like staff weaponry and such walking around. Uh,
Mhm.
and I think one of them looks like they have this like staff weapon that looks kind of like a two-pronged like fork that aim inward, kind of like the Conan snake emblem, you know, that also Doom snake emblem, but with it's like aimed in like this, where where
Mhm.
they are, where it's aimed inward like this, and that's their staff weapon looking device. Uh, and and they have like this little trigger in the center of it where it's like a grip in the center of the staff, and they can like turn it to different like modes essentially. Um, oh, you don't have to turn it to do it; you do it with your mind. Uh, okay, just like with the rings in the movie, you turn it to the mode that you want to fire on. Kind of like changing. Isaac said, like changing a shower head with the water, the different water beams that come out. So, so that's interesting. Rudimentarily said they said, but they said the jester of the clown's assessment is correct. Okay, all right. So, he's like, oh, so yeah, yeah, the clown's assessment's correct. That's great. Okay, let's see. What happened, guys? Why are you so packed in? Is there something wrong? Hmm.
They're
Yeah.
saying there's a lot of the aquatic freaks are out. Yes, a lot
Yes.
of them.
Yes. They didn't want this
Unfortunately.
conversation. See, they did that with the Sasquatch conversation we did yesterday. It was horrible yesterday trying to combat these shits because
Oh, fuck no, yeah.
um.
Yeah, the imagery has been horrid. Um,
Mhm.
it's been ugly here. The Sasquatch is still clearing areas up in the UK, I believe.
Mhm.
Yes, they are. Um, they haven't got to my section yet, but they're still cleaning up where because I know Wales is really fucking bad at the moment. They're like proper woke, virtual signaling, liberal dog shit, just complete nonsense. Like basically, they're saying, and I kid you not, this is true. They're trying to now say that the countrysides are racists.
Uh-huh. God, that doesn't.
Literally,
Why does that not surprise me? Actually, that yeah. Yeah. And
the
the
trees.
Recarsons started chuckling a little bit. They're like, "Yeah, you're gonna see. Oh, was it? You're gonna see a little bit more of that horse shit before it's actually run its course or hits critical mass. It's just about ready to hit critical mass, but it has to get slightly worse before it balances out. So it's and they say slightly worse. They're being a little bit conservative. No pun intended. It's haha, get it, double joke, conservative politics. Yeah, if you have to explain the joke, it's probably not okay. But uh, I don't recognize a few of you. Are you guys? A couple of them you're new. Yeah, all right. Well, new to you. Okay. And where's my pen? I had a pen. It's disappeared. Let me see here. No, oh, there. But and they said no, it disappeared to you. All right. All right. Okay.
Because because I know a while back I think one of their variations, the Bat people came through. They depicted in the video games as Rouge the Bat.
Mm-hmm.
She tried to come through. I don't know who they tried coming through, but Nutfuck was causing a lot of problems. So he was like taking beings off me and everything. He was doing all sorts
Mm-hmm.
of horrible
Yes, and
stuff.
also they said that's like what you see Robotnik as well with the animals that escape from his craft. People like that try to control nature and they try to control the environment. So also therefore soul capturing beings like what he was doing, what Nutfucker was doing, and then also some of his associates doing witchcraft and stuff like that to capture beings within like a dish or a portal or a crystal. Or soul trapping, they're saying that was also represented like the cabal wants to control nature. That's also another symbol that was in that. So what guys, what there's something up that you are very concerned about here other than just the Draco. Okay. Oh, I see what you're doing through Richie's neighborhood. They're walking the streets going zipping around and changing the energy around a little bit. Okay. Oh, that's interesting. You're pulling a forest person by like what they did with this. They said images of
Hmm.
Sonic the Hedgehog actually will incur their people, just like images of soldiers will incur Mosen. So that's interesting. Just like okay, yeah, here it is. Uh, yeah, this one will help bring in benevolent Mosen. So, interesting. That's they're basically so if somebody gets like say Sonic the Hedgehog stickers, for instance, yes, would it do the same thing as say the World of Sasquatch logo does for the forest people all the time? Yeah, sort of because it's associating with a fictional character, but it would still do a close enough job. Okay. Interesting. Okay, that's food for thought later to make something that way. Uh, they're like,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, you want to make us a logo? Okay, yeah, yeah. No, we don't have time to do it completely like that, but yeah. Um, of course, all the groups would want their emblem. Well, if it's true inclusivity, get it? We're joking. Inclusivity. Okay. Yeah. Right. Oh, for crying out loud. All right.
I was gonna ask. these guys, as the creepy thoughts. I mean, they're not been as prevalent. Granted, they've been quite mild for the most part. Um, is that my immunity to it kicking in, or
Yes, that and all. Yes, your immunity kicking in. Yes, you'll see that diminish over a shorter period of time. You'll start to see that diminish. Also, did you guys say the volume was turned down in a particular area too? Yes. All right. In what area? Because I know the V2K is louder than ever. And the normal voice to skull is louder than frickin' ever, but it's annoyingly loud. So what? Oh well, also the aquatic Draco like to do ventriloquist crap too. So what has been turned down to make it so the creepy thoughts are down? Well, think also Tic Tacs as well, and it's little orbital type things that were putting thoughts in the head. I saw that years ago from 18 on, yeah, 2018 on. So that some of those have been gathered up. You're telling me, okay. And oh, you mean you just captured a bunch of them and just bagged them, tagged them? Yes. Okay. But also electromagnetism brings us down. You're saying our pieces have helped. That's what annoyed the aquatic Draco yesterday to cause holy hell before the show we did yesterday. I made some tower busters for a client, and you would swear that you carved out the Draco's heart and displayed it, or cut their head off and displayed it. And I found out with the aquatic Draco, you can cut their head off and it's still going to function. So the chopping the head off doesn't work on them. You literally have to burn them. Uh, so yeah, it's like they grow a new head or some crap like that, or grow a second head. Yeah, it's really creepy. Yeah. The forest people went into an immense amount of detail about the origin and the eugenics surrounding them and everything, and it's pretty creepy, actually, what they said that was involved in it. But they're saying, oh, I get it. They're vulnerable to electromagnetism, and you guys spew out a bunch of electromagnetism. So you're actually helping jam, like what Valiant Thor calls our pieces, jammers. So you have a natural biochemical and biological response to things like that, like Spider-Man has a spidey sense, or the Witcher has the vibrating amulet kind of thing. Yeah, exactly. That's fascinating. So you can do electromagnetic bursts that literally will stun these creatures, kill them. Okay. Meaning, can you shoot quills out kind of like a porcupine too? Some of you. Okay. Meaning you can aim for like they go, we aim for the eyes. Okay. And then the electromagnetic, those quills go in and go, and then they're dead. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Oh, that I would hate to fuck with you guys. Okay. God.
it's like Levick. It's like you remember Fist of the North Star, that anime series?
Which one?
Fist of the North Star, the Kenshiro, the guy that punches the people and they explode.
Yeah. Okay.
That's what the Sasquatch do. That's what Levick does. Well, I don't know about the Sasquatch do it, but Levick does that to them when he punches them. It's like they don't. They think, well, they'll probably be like, oh, I didn't do anything. They just explode.
Huh. Yeah, they said how he punches them. It's an electromagnetic and kinetic charge in the punch. Therefore, that energy has to go somewhere, and boom. So yeah, so he knows. They said Levick knows his shit with the punch. So yeah, call him One Punch Man because boom, it's like yeah, no.
That's how Saitama beat that aquatic Draco. He just punched it straight through the chest, and the whole thing's incinerated.
Yep, that's
And
exactly it. Yeah.
yeah,
And fire will do it too. Water of course, doesn't do it. But chopping the head off doesn't do it. You would literally have to burn them or electrocute them in some way. And you have to get to the brain, like you have to electrocute and short circuit their brain somehow, or their heart muscle. Like it would have to send it back up to the brain, and they'd stroke out or something. So yeah.
because even when like Genos fired that major like plasma cannon at that one, and it still didn't do shit. Half its head was gone, yet it still just grew back.
Yeah, they can grow that back if they're injured. It's like basically they said Cell and Dragon Ball Z was based off of that principle as well. So even though that was Android based, the premise was still correct. The Jeepers Creepers thing they said where the Jeepers Creepers monster assimilated all the parts and regrew. Yeah, they said
Yeah,
that's
he could literally take his head off and still get
yeah.
another head and grow back.
Yeah, and yeah, Brian was asking about that last night there, and Force people said, yeah, they have these capabilities. Uh, so yeah, Seymour came in and was describing their history and all this other stuff.